Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today's topic is going to be, why does the ex keep contacting me? Why do they keep reaching out? That's what we're going to be discussing today and going into detail on. But before we start that, I'm Duane, and if you want to learn how to get your life back, break the cycle of emotional abuse, strengthen the relationship with yourself and your kids, start right now by subscribing and ringing the bell so you don't miss a thing. Okay, so this is one of those things that's going to drive most people crazy, and this will be a video mainly for people who are newer in this process on my audience. And you can get into this mode to where you break up with your ex, however that happens, whether you break up or they break up or whatever. And then they keep trying to contact you. They keep trying to keep you thinking about them, or they want to re-engage, or they want to rehash old topics. And it can really drive you crazy because you're trying to heal. And typically what will happen with this is you'll be cruising along. Maybe you're doing a little bit better, and they will reach out. They will do something to basically say, look at me, look at me. And when you're struggling with this, you can be like, what in the world? Why is this happening? Why is this person reaching out to me? Typically, whenever a person breaks up in a normal situation, you have some closure. You have a discussion, you have a coming of the mind, so to speak, and you both decide that this is the best thing. You realize that the relationship's run its course. You've done everything you possibly can. And bottom line is, maybe you had some good times, but you're just really not compatible and you're not heading in the same direction. That's how a normal relationship works. However, in a high conflict, toxic, narcissistic relationship, it doesn't go that way. Typically what happens is you get zero closure. You have no idea really what's going on. You're kind of walking around shell-shocked, trying to figure out or ascertain what happened, and it can really drive you crazy. And then if you have a situation where your ex has discarded you, when I say that, if you're not familiar with that term, what that means is that you've basically been thrown away without warning, and you're left completely shell-shocked. This can manifest itself or can present itself in a way where one day you guys are still, maybe you're not having the greatest of times, but things are complicated, but they still say they love you. They still are showing some affection or some attention. And then out of nowhere, it's like in an instant, it completely changes and you're a non-human. It's like you never existed. It's like you've been erased from the equation. And then if you're in that mode and you're trying to figure out what the hell happened, and then they start reaching back out to you, it can really be confusing. And you oftentimes get very confusing and mixed messages. Now, that when you're trying to heal from this will drive you crazy. And I've seen this time and time again from people who contact me who are in the early parts of this, and they're struggling with that. They're trying to determine what the relationship is, what the relationship was. Is it worth fighting for? Is there anything there? And the crazy part is most of the time when people write to me and they list the laundry list of things that are going on, I'm like looking at it going, red flag, red flag, red flag, oh dear God, red flag, just down the list. And typically the email will go down this list of items and then say, is it worth fighting for? Is it, is there really a problem there? And you're looking at it, and this is a really great example of how you get really confused and how you lose sight of reality in these things. Basically that cognitive dissonance thing that just drives us crazy. And I'm planning on making a video on that in the future to kind of deep dive and give some better examples. But what happens is when you're in that situation and that person starts reaching back out to you, you're like, what? And then normally they'll throw other roadblocks and hurdles to jump over, and it really boils down to a couple of things. One, that is a classic Hoover. That's a situation where the person is trying to keep you engaged with them, trying to keep you thinking about them, basically eliminating your ability to escape from them. Because we're already, unfortunately, we all tend to, at the beginning parts of this, we're still thinking about the ex. We're still longing for the illusion. And this doesn't matter whether it was a 20-year relationship or a 2-month relationship. When you are targeted by a highly manipulative, narcissistic person, they do a number on you that is just incredible. And part of that is because they're able to present themselves in a way that to mirror everything you ever wanted in a person. You meet them and they just are like everything you ever wanted. They're interested in the same things. They want to support you. You guys seem to finish each other's sentences. What you don't realize at the time is they're really targeted in on you, and they're watching everything that you're saying and doing, and they're really trying to read it so that they're able to mimic back exactly what they think that you want. And typically in the early parts of this, we're telling them what we want. We're telling them what our hopes and our dreams and our fears, and the fears are the really scary part because that comes up later, of what is important. So then you get, like I said, then you get into this situation where the relationship blows apart. You've been devalued or discarded, and you're reeling from the loss of this illusion. Though at the beginning parts of this, you don't realize it's illusion. You still think that it's real, and you think that there's some way, there's got to be some way that you can get back to that you can fix this, that you can go through this and fix and change things that are happening and get back that illusion, get back that high, that feeling that you had whenever you were in the early parts of the relationship with this person. The problem is it's all based on a lie. It's all based on manipulation and triangulation and just deceit. And it's not based on what we think it would be based on. I mean, we think a relationship will be based on love and respect, and respecting people's boundaries and working towards a common goal. And yes, there are relationships like that. So if you're early into this and you're thinking, oh my God, that can never happen. Yes, it can. The thing is that you have to heal from all the trauma that's happened. You have to value yourself so that you can recognize whenever someone's trying to dupe you, someone's trying to manipulate you, someone's trying to suck you into their vortex of chaos and influence your life in a really negative way. Okay, so you do all this background, and it's like, okay, but why does the ex keep contacting me? If I don't provide any value to them, if they've discarded me and I'm not giving them supply, if you've been researching some of this, you've heard some of these terms, then why would they keep contacting me? Well, it's because they want you to continue to be thinking about them. They don't want you to escape. They want to keep you on the hook. And they do this in a variety of different ways. But in this particular topic that we're discussing right now, it's them reaching out. It's them saying, hey, did you forget about me? I want that, that utensil that I didn't pick up. I really want that back. Just to get you to think about them. And it typically works, right? Once they're able to plant that seed and incept in your mind the idea to think about them, to ruminate about them, it takes hold. And I know for me, when that happened, oh my God, it was incredibly frustrating. It was stressful. I would tend to go down this dark pit of hell, not knowing how I got to this point and what happened and how did it happen this way. And that is so very common in these type of relationships. Whenever you get caught up in that. And again, it doesn't matter whether it was, like in my situation, a 2-decade relationship. Obviously, 2 decades includes a whole extra host of problems, typically with children and assets and retirement and all that different stuff. But emotionally, it's no different than if you've been with a highly toxic person who's been able to suck you in, to manipulate you in a short period of time. It's the same type of feeling. Not granted, right? I mean, in my situation, you have the all those different things I just mentioned that keep that connection going. But initially, it all feels the same. It's all part of the same process. The other thing of this is, as I mentioned, so first it's thinking about them, and then it's also it's testing us to see, what are you willing to put up with? How much can they put you down? How low is your self-esteem to allow them back in to your environment, to your frame, to your not subconscious, but into your mind and your heart? A lot of times it's a test for them. It's not so much that they really care about you. It's like, what can I get away with? How badly can I treat this person? How much can I disrespect this person and they will still play my game? And the sad part is, a lot of us get in this mode to where we want the connection with them so badly, or we want to potentially get some closure so badly that we will put up with it, that you'll allow them to come back around, to keep trying to contact you or to hoover around. It's really tough. And what happens oftentimes in these situations is that you're going down this path and you're trying to purge this person from your life. And, in the beginning, you want the illusion to be real. You want that feeling that you originally had when you met the person or you were first in that relationship. But as you progress and you realize that's not the case, you can actually get caught in a mode to where you just want any type of connection. So even if this person is going to treat me like crap, at least they're interacting with me. At least they're answering me. At least they're engaging with me, even if it's in this horrible way. That's really hard to deal with too, because you don't really want to acknowledge that. You don't really want to say that. I mean, you don't say it out loud. You don't. You're not going to say to your friends, well, the only way that they'll contact me is if I don't give them back their favorite pan. I'm holding on to it because then they keep bugging me about it, and that's the only way they'll contact me. And if I give it away, if I get that back to them, they won't contact me anymore. And that's a hard thing to reconcile. It's a hard thing to admit to yourself, because deep down, you know that it's just going to cause you more pain. But you think that void of not having that person in your life at all is going to be more painful. And in some ways, yeah, okay, it can be. It is in that part when you're trying to pull away from them, to get them out of your mind, to get them out of your heart. But in the beginning part of this, that's what makes it so tough when they're trying to contact you. And I'll just want to throw this out right now. If you are dealing in a situation where you're dealing with a really toxic ex, with no communication, they never really respected your boundaries. They never really made you feel like you were loved unconditionally just for who you are. There's always something. There's always something that's not quite right. They're always putting you down. They're always devaluing you. Then all this hoovering or all this contact is just to keep you on the hook, just to see what they can get away with. That's why they continue to contact you. That's why they try to keep those communication lines open. That's why maybe when they move out, they don't take everything, so that there's something there. There's something there that drives conversation, that makes it to where you have to interact with this person. It's incredibly tough. It really is. And if you're new at this, and this is beginning part of this, I feel for you, because it's really tough. And if you're one of the older viewers of the channel, if you could comment below about how you've dealt with this and how this has affected you and how you've been able to escape that mode or that thinking or that connection, put it down in the comments below, because I think that would be really helpful for people. And if you're really struggling with this and you think you need some help, book some time with me, a coaching call over at dadsurvivingdivorce.com/coaching. We can set up a time and deep dive in your particular issue. Bottom line is it's really tough to break the illusion of what this is, of what the reality is. I mean, to be perfectly honest, it took me a long time, about over 3 years, to break that. And those are some of the darkest days that I think I've experienced in my life. Going through that, trying to figure this part out, trying to get away from those emotions and those feelings. It's one of those things it's incredibly tough. And it's not easy. But you put in the work, you work on yourself, you detoxify yourself from the ex. You learn about what's going on, what they're doing, why they're doing what they're doing. And then you start learning about yourself, and you take that as an opportunity to really improve your life. So on that, I hope you're doing okay. I hope that your ex isn't continuing to try to contact you or Hoover around. And I'll chat with you on the next video. Take care.